All right. Episode 7. A stream of the shot. Excuse me. Hey, look, this is Pay Me No Mind. Thanks for pressing play on another video. My name is Wood. Please consider becoming a subscriber. Also, if you like the way that any of the information is being presented, or reviewed, recapped, analyzed, broken down, do me a favor, a real solid, and hit the like button. If you want to talk about it, if you want to rap about it, build on this any further, all those comments would be appreciated, and I'll get back to you. Look, man, I'm my general. I watched this episode of Stain or A Stain, and I was speechless. Honestly, I kind of just sat there. I can't really say that it was horribly written. I don't think it continued the string. I mean the trends that we've seen in the last couple of episodes. I can't say that it was really great, but it was like, okay, maybe we got to shift, because obviously one major conflict this season has just been resolved in Keisha getting back home. But the thing that continues to trouble the storytelling and the writing, in my opinion, is just the concept of time and history between characters, and how do these characters connect? How are they connected to one another? When do you take the time to develop any of this and build certain things? And it's a couple in here that just make me scratch my head. So I'll hit on those in a second. I'm really, this is just a reaction. I got like 15 things here. I'm gonna try to keep my comments really briefly about each one, and I'm gonna start with the positives. I'm not just hating on the show. It's a couple positives. One, I like that Rel. I can't remember what his character's name is. Zeke, Z, something. It's great that he acknowledged and stated it, that Emmett is a f up. He is a flat out screw up, and it needed to be said. And I'm glad that it was actually spoken in the dialogue, because he tells you, man, I always. Which again, this is my first example of time, history between relationships, and what are you showing us on camera versus the things that you just make appear out of nowhere that don't even fit in with what we've been watching. How can he say that he always looked at Emmett as a f up when we've never seen him and Emmett in the same space before until today? It's the first time we saw him. How do you say, why would he have been interacting with him as Sonny's? But attention to detail, time, development, and history in these relationships. But I was grateful that he said it, because I'm tired. Emmett is I'm super tired with dude. Real fatigue on Emmett. The next positive thing, I'm glad that they used the way that they handled the situation, the closing with Kevin and Ronnie, who's really sent Kevin's life spiraling down, this hole ever since he's met this man and had to deal with this man. Piggybacking off of whatever he went through with his father passing away and his parents splitting up and whatnot. It's dope that it was handled dope that he just said thank you. Like, we ain't got to do nothing else. You still on my, I still have no feelings for you, but you found my sister. Thank you. I thought that was done well. I'm glad that they just explicitly addressed, since they haven't done it with the mayoral candidacy or campaign. I'm glad that they just addressed the fact that with Ronnie's two friends who are leaving to go to Springfield, where one of them has a cousin who's running a warehouse or opening a warehouse. I'm glad that they just addressed the employment outlook for most individuals in Chicago. And like I said, this is something where on Pearson, there was substantive things mentioned about providing opportunity and attracting jobs and companies to Chicago so people could work. And here with this mayoral campaign in the Chi, it's just, trust me, I'm going to be in this with you. We're in this together. but no solution, no real credible solutions are really being discussed. Also, another positive thing, the way that Duda kept it a buck with Jake and approached him as a man, I thought that was handled fairly well. It was definitely a change of pace versus trying to lie and pay off and so on and so forth, or have sex. That was couldn't do that here, but there was no simple fix here other than to go to Jake as a man and say, hey, you want to be in these streets, you want to be in the game, you want to know something about the game, you want me to treat you like a man. And he tells him, I didn't have anything directly to do with your brother being killed. He knew that his brother was reckless and wilding out at times. And he let him know, your brother basically killed himself. I could no longer protect him as a result of the decisions that he made to be reckless with the rules of the game and the code of the streets. So I don't know if that does anything to save their relationship, but at least that's one of the better interactions that I've seen on the show. So those were my positives. Now let me get to these negatives. Do any adults who are watching, do you really care about Kevin's rift with Gemma? Like I said last week, it was almost like, because no one on the show can be happy or in harmony with anybody, they had to make them have an argument. So with that, what doesn't fit, in my opinion, is that Gemma is so mature and looking forward to the future and has all of these big ideals and whatnot. But here to mend fences with someone who we really haven't seen them super, long as boyfriend and girlfriend for a lot of time. But now here she is willing to give up her body to fix her relationship with Kevin. That really doesn't fit. That really doesn't fit for me. I'm sorry. Unless she just been, because what is Kevin? Is he 13? Is he 14? Is he 15? And this is where's mom? Like, how do you just get to the house and have the house to yourself after school when in a totally different neighborhood? I'm not even gonna go into it, but it was just weird to me that she opts to. That's something mid-20s, late 20s that you go to fix this like that. But okay. The opening, we've never really got a sense of the community in the neighborhood except for that block party maybe. But we didn't really get a sense that there was enough community for there to be this gathering where Ronnie gave this speech. Ronnie's been homeless, but now he's buying, rounds and whatnot. He's been making his money by turning in recyclables and whatnot. But again, this just doesn't kind of fit, but I guess they had to give Miss Ethel a send-off. Next thing, the whole him finding Keisha, at least they set it up with the wife lie. They did. There was some development. They left it out there that the abductor dude, the pedophile, that he told Ronnie, my wife, and this lady, comes in and says he don't have no wife, and that triggers Ronnie to know that something is up. But then this goes back to like last week. Did he or did he not hear her screaming? He couldn't have heard Keisha screaming when he went inside the house, because here it is, he's actually going down the neighborhood knocking on doors. So I don't know. That was a little inconsistent right there. But like I said, at least they did take some time to logically order some things to get us to the result that they were aiming for. Next thing, that was a losing battle for Dre, who she's a counselor at high school. She's not a high school counselor or a counselor at the high school or at a high school. She's a counselor at high school, which is just weird how they worded that. But there was a losing battle for her. And again, it's not consistent. If you're a counselor, why in the hell are you in there trying to push Nina to just move on from her daughter? That was really selfish. And then to throw Kevin in, like Kevin is out here and I'm out here. And you're in here for days at a time. That's just a really, and then to double down and come back and actually start packing out the room after Nina told you don't mess with it. And then again, like I said, things just go, they're either 0 or they're 100. So Nina goes to throwing Dre out, and then when Keisha's found, she just miraculously, they're back together again, and everybody's hugging. But you just took off your ring, y'all a honeymoon. All of that was a little messy to me, but okay. Next thing, I don't know why Kev was listening to Jake. Jake has just sat here and admitted that he didn't realize he was being played by Duda. But now Kev has to mentor him again, and then get his friend together again. And then he just says, "Well, don't you pay attention in history?" And Jake is like, "No, I don't pay attention to anything. I'm just looking for something to insert my finger in and smoke something when I get a chance. I'm just aimlessly milling about." But Kev actually listens to him on about Gemma, and I guess that was like real Chicago, real streets. F that B. She put your business out there. Like, what business do you really have? When there was a vigil out there, I think Keisha was in the news with this. Like, how does nobody really know what's going on with you? But this is like, I guess he said he didn't want to be a charity case or something. That whole argument just seemed, I guess because it's a 14 or 13-year-old kid, he got to have something to be confused about or whatever. Okay. Tomas, again, time, history. Tomas has been in the picture 3 to 4 weeks. But he tells, after they try to go in the house, in the apartment to get down and whatnot, and Tiff and Emmett are in there with things all over the place. But Tomas gets back out in the hall and he tells her, "For one time, I want you to put yourself first sometimes." When has Tomas seen anything in Jada's personal life for him to have this statement? "I just want you to put yourself first sometimes." What does he know about her to say that? When has he been around Jada and Emmett? It hasn't been shown, so why is it being said? And it sets up that relationship to fall apart because, of course, Jada has to punch back and say, "I'm his crutch. I know this, blah, blah, blah." So there has to be some conflict in their relationship. It just has to be. Nobody can be happy. There can be no harmony on the shot. Ronnie commits to sobriety again. Again, time and pacing and development. He was just getting drunk and drinking, and now a couple scenes later, when he goes to get the next round for the fellas, he has this epiphany. I really needed to listen. I need to listen to Jada on this moment while I'm in mourning, and this is an acceptable time for me to be getting tore up because I miss my grandmother and I'm dealing with that pain. Now I'm gonna come over here and drink some coffee. I'm starting my sobriety right now, this moment. Can't wait till tomorrow. It just seems. Anyway, how was Keisha sleeping next to dude with no restraints on? How was that happening? You don't try to suffocate this Negro or just kill him while he sleep. She was not restrained. That made no sense to me. Again, another example, time and history. How does Candy tell us and Duda at the same time? How is she the one that tells us that Jake knows about Duda being the cause of the death of Reg? How does she know that? Where did she come from? How was she so tied into the streets that she knows that kind of business? When did her and Duda have that kind of conversation? Why would they have had that conversation? It makes no sense to me. Next thing, why is Jake at the fundraiser? Makes no sense to me. Nobody else's kids are there. Another thing here that pisses me off, I'm getting tired of, is this messy ass world and the use of sex in the show. We learned earlier at this breakfast for 20 that was only enjoyed by two when Jake declined to eat. But Candy tells us earlier that she was sleeping with Duda's secretary for a few weeks. I was effing the B for a couple of weeks. What you get mad about? And then Camille comes back later at the fundraiser and tells Duda, pass your girl to me. I'll take care of it for you. Just, is the world really that wild? I mean, is it really that wild out there? I don't know. But everybody, is willing to do whatever and swings any old kind of way on the show. Just doesn't make sense to me again, but okay. The next questionable placement of sex or use of sex, after we just saw him going to counseling and trying to get it together with Tiff and then vowing to never play, to step out on her, he goes out not having a job, needing things to go right in his life, and catching his break to get these 7 bands and cater this thing for Rail's character. This lady in Dom, who should be 15 to 18 years senior to Emmett, they have to celebrate by having a drink and, of course, getting it in the kitchen. Just moments after Rail has exited the room, they don't lock no doors. They don't close up nothing. They don't make sure it's whatever. We just got to do it right now. No bag used. He just gonna spill in her. We know he got 4 baby moms and whatnot, which we don't see anymore. And then Dom being the older of the two, no concern from her. Just silly to me. But the fact, like I said, time. Less than a minute after my man leaves the room, just go at it. Just get it in. Again, who out here getting it in wherever, just because? All these random spots in here. But okay, I guess, life is that exciting, I guess, in the shot. So that's it, man. Quickly, just my conclusion, with, like I said, with Keisha being home, what is the major storyline over these next 2 or 3 episodes? I guess some suggestions could be the final or the results of the mayoral race. What are the after effects of Keisha being abducted and being raped and whatnot? I guess what's next for Gemma and Kev. And then I guess they move forward with Sonny being put out, which I don't need. I guess Sonny's business was so bad that there's some way for Zeke or whatever his name was, Lil Rel's character, Rel Howery, for his character to put Sonny out. And they can just move forward with his name and his brand. I don't know why you wouldn't want a new brand. I guess the neighborhood is that stupid, but whatever. Or that unwilling to accept food from somebody else, regardless if it's better food or whatever. I don't know, man. But I guess those are a couple of areas. And then I guess we see Trig, a showdown with Trig and Duda, and whether or not that showdown affects or impacts the mayoral race. I think it was a good sign that they at least hinted at the fact that there is another candidate out there. There's either an incumbent candidate or there's somebody on the other side that we haven't even been told about, that they had, that the winner between Duda and Camille the winner of that will face that person to be the mayor. So that's it, man. Let me get on off here. Again, this was just my reactions and observations. That's it. Hey, pay me no mind if you don't like my views. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.